Welcome. A lot of my students have told me that their English sounds childlike and they want to sound more sophisticated, right? What's the difference between native English and ESL English? And how can we sound more like native speakers? What kind of sentences can we build? Let's do an example. You might say, hey, your bathroom looks different. And we have before and after. I say, yeah, a contractor replaced the tile. The contractor put in a new faucet and lights. A painter repainted the walls and the mirror frame. And you'll notice here the classic grammar subject, verb, object, right? Subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. And that's the common way that we speak and a common way that we write. But as a native speaker, I do something a little bit different, and I want to show you how to do that. I use the same verbs. I use the verb replaced, but I don't use the subject, a contractor. Now, a contractor is the person who does the action. So he replaced the tile. But usually I put the most important part of the sentence at the beginning. So I would say, the tile was replaced by a contractor. Because the most important thing in the sentence is the tile. I'm actually pointing there. Look at the tile was replaced by a contractor. Now, who did the action? Who did this action replaced? A contractor, right? He did the action. But I don't need to put his name at the beginning of the sentence. The same thing here. Painter. A painter did the action. But I can put his name at the end of the sentence, right? And I say by a painter. If I want, I can take that out. Maybe it's not important. You say, well, the important thing is the tile. We don't care who did it. So we say, yeah, the tile was replaced. A new faucet and new lights were put in. Also, the walls and the mirror frame were repainted. And here we don't say by a painter because actually we can guess. Painted by who? By a painter. And it's not important, right? Tile was replaced by somebody. But actually we don't care. A contractor, a worker, some kind of specialist. It's not important, right? So we'll do it this way. Let me give you a couple more examples. New York City Press published Franzen's new book last week. Now we know the verb, right? Published. Who did the action? This company, New York City Press, right? We can change it. We'll change the order. Franzen's new book was published by New York City Press. Who did the action? Still, New York City Press. They did the action. But the most important part of the sentence is his new book. So we put that at the beginning, right? And here we have subject, verb. But this one, the company that did the action, we call that a doer because they do the action. And if we want to take that out, maybe we don't care who published the book. We say Franzen's new book was published last week. Now what's important? The book, the action, it was published, and the time last week, right? So we're going to practice those kind of skills today in our lesson. But first I want to review. Last time we did lesson 18, and I want to show you some student work, and we can refresh our memories about those skills. All right, who has a perfect memory? Nobody has a perfect memory. Every human learns something, and after a day you've forgotten. You need to review. You're back up to 100%. You'll notice here we review 1, 2, 3, or maybe more times. And after all of that review, your skills are permanent. You can use them. So here's our activity from last time. We watched a video about a lizard that can shoot blood out of its eyes. And a student wrote this paragraph, which was a great paragraph. Let's look at it. In this video, I saw the regal horned lizard in the Sonoran Desert, Mexico, which lives close to the sparrow trees and shoots blood from its eye sockets to defend itself. Now, this adjective clause, which lives, it's describing what? Describing Mexico? No, actually it's describing the lizard. So we have to put it after our noun. We can say the regal horned lizard, which lives close to the saguaro trees and shoots blood from its eye sockets to defend itself. All right, and I like this defend itself because we're using that pronoun that we learned a couple weeks ago, right? When birds drop some partial fruits, it's not only beneficial for the blood-shooting lizard to munch on the fruits, but it's also useful for the birds to get rid of the ants, which are eaten by the regal horned lizard in return. And this student used a great correlating conjunction, right, which was not only beneficial, but also useful. And it was great because this student used an adjective here, beneficial, and an adjective here, useful. And so those are matching, right? However, the ants don't stop fighting, and the student continued, and it was great because later in the paragraph, the student shared an opinion about the video. And that's always good because you don't want just information, you want to also share why is this important, why is this interesting. So thank you. Our next one was a speaking activity. We had this picture from a fashion show, and a student actually recorded their voice. So let's go listen to that.
I think that this is one of the worst dresses I have ever seen. Both the design and the material are very bad taste. I think that neither the consumer nor the advertising companies will invest money in buying this product or advertising it in their magazines. I also think that it's not only offensive for the young generation, but also sinful for the community. That's why I think that it is not a good idea that this design come out for the public.
All right, a great recording. And as you can see, the student did a great job with complex grammar, using not only, but also, neither, nor, all of that stuff that we learned in our last lesson. And it's a great review to read this paragraph and also to hear a student speaking. As far as the rhythm and the speaking, we can work on a few things. When we say this is, I always say this is. It's really quick. When we say for the public, it could be for the public, for the public. It's a really quick, squeezed sentence, right? It's the same thing here, that it is not only, that it's not only, that it's. So we squeeze that and we say that. We squeeze it is, we say it's. Right? I loved how the student said not only offensive, and it was a really strong sound. And it sounds very natural to me because you're sharing not only this, but also this. And it makes a very forceful kind of message. And it's a very strong opinion too. So it's a great way to say it. Nice work. Thanks for sending it to me. If you want to send a recording, look in our create section today. Let me show you that. This is our lesson 19. When you go to our page, you're going to see 5 parts. Review, right? You review last time. Learn new material. Practice, you practice it with me. Create, you create your own recording and your own paragraph. And 100% review. You do activities, quick activities that will help you bounce back up to 100%. Okay, so for example, our create section today, you can look at this picture and record your voice talking about it. What's happening here? What's this crime? You can also watch a video. And it's a video about some kind of makeup and makeover. But it's pretty interesting. If you watch it, you can write a paragraph and send it to me. For both of those, I'm going to give you a reply by email. And you can get reviews about your speaking and about your writing. Also, a 100% review section. You can do a quick activity that's a listening activity. And you can learn how to squeeze words by listening to my voice. So let's try it. It's really quick, but see if you can hear the sentence. We wanted to visit the park, but he said he wasn't going to have a car on Friday. Okay, really quick, right? It's a hard one, but go to the website, listen to it again. If you think you know the answer, you can email me the correct answer. So let me actually show you our page. If you go over here, you can see lesson 19. You'll find review, learn, practice, create, and 100% review. Those 5 parts that I told you about. You can also sign up for our newsletter here and get more information from me. Go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter page, go to our YouTube channel, and of course subscribe to that. And in each case, you can get new activities, new stuff, new practice, and that's to help you bring your skills back up to 100% and to keep trying a little bit each day. So good luck with it, enjoy, and I'll see you on Thursday for a new lesson.